It's spring football time in the Bluegrass here at Kroger Field. I'm Nick Roush. He's Adam Luckett. This is KSR's rapid reaction to the 2024 spring football game, where I know some people were disappointed that this wasn't going to be a big live stream 11-on-11 scrimmage. Actually, think this might be the most I've gotten out of a spring game in years. It was a 90-minute affair where 60 minutes of it was an 11-on-11 scrimmage. They did the thud, right? They're just button up, so you can't...
75% football is what I call it, right? You're not tackling to the ground,
right? But
you're playing real 11-on-11 football.
And so it's... You can't tackle the running back, so it's a little bit harder to tell. I mean, because those guys, they're breaking tackles. That's the name of their game, especially for a guy like Chip Trayanum. But we still got to see a lot of what this offense is going to be about. I liked it. We are having to provide play-by-play updates like it, and they were going so fast I could probably hardly keep up with it with each play. So I do think if you were able to make it out to Kroger Field, you really liked what you saw. And I think, here's my theory of Luckett. This is my tinfoil hat on. I think we made this a spring practice so they could pull it from the streamers so Stoops could hide his offense from the rest of the SEC. Because all in all, I liked what I saw today. I was like, this is nice. This is a good quality. It was just quality football. As Stoops said, they made the routine look routine. Solid execution by the Cats today.
Yeah, I think pace of play stood out today. Again, they're not going a million miles an hour, but they are moving faster, moving quicker.
Oh, hitching their giddy up.
Right. I think that's a good way to describe that, Nick. Just a little, got to drink a little coffee in the morning, just get going. So I do think that's good, and I think you saw them just kind of execute bare bones just type of offense.
Right.
And to me, I think I look at Brock Vandagriff, I think coming out of that stadium or coming out of this workout, which really what it was, kind of a workout, he looks the part. Like, to me, I come out of this thinking like he's probably going to have a decently sized or decently high floor here. Like, the run element's the real deal with him. They are going to use that. And with things bogged down, that's something you could go to. And then I think you saw in the intermediate, the short passing game, specifically I think between the hashes in the middle of the field, he made good, accurate throws, and I thought made good decisions in the pocket, hitting his checkdowns, hitting curls, just getting the ball out on time within the structure of the offense. And then I think even on the double move to Dane Key, it was a missed throw by Vandergriff. He kind of underthrew that a little bit, but he missed right. Like in golf, you want to miss short of the green. You don't want to go over the green. You want to at least give yourself a chance there, and that's what he gave his receiver a chance to make the catch. So even though it was maybe a missed throw, it was still a missed throw for 40 yards.
I love that you use the golf analogy, because Butch Hampton said he told his guys, I want you all to be the most boring golfers out there today. Just take what the offense gives you. That's what a lot of the pro-style offense is. That's what we were preaching. I remember Freddie talking about being a quarterback-friendly offense, right? Is, hey, there's going to be some just schemed-up stuff to get guys wide open, whether it's in the flat, whether it's running a curl route. I did think, too, aside from the Dane Key route, one of the best plays of the day was a scramble drill. Brock's rolling out, and he just gives AB one of these hand signals and hits him 20 yards down the field in the hash. He said afterwards,
that was a taste of what he can do, what his skill set brings to the table.
And afterwards he said that was the only time he misheard the play. So he went rolling out, and oh crap, these guys are running a different play. And he ad-libbed, and he made it work. You also saw, I know that there's a lot of haters and losers out there, like, who cares about quarterback, run game, man, and scrimmage, blah, blah, blah. No, like, he's got a little bit of juice, and we know that that's going to be a real thing. And by God, thank God it's a real thing.
Not only that, him as a runner, like, he knows how to run the football. Like, I think you can tell watching him that he understands, like, how to run the football. Like, running the football is a little bit of an art form, right? Knowing how to set up blocks, knowing when to cut, knowing when that. There's some instincts to that. And I think you saw that with him. On the draws, how he kind of anchored down and let blocks set up and then cut off those blocks. I think you're going to see that when the games start. And that's going to be a real part.
He knows what he's doing.
Offense. Yeah. He just, coach's son. And I think we saw some of that. Now, still, there's some development I think he needs to still progress in. But I think today you can project that guy to win football games on Saturday. And I think that's the big thing, because that's a guy they cannot miss on.
No.
Not saying he has to be a superstar, but he has to be a level of good for them.
Got to be the boring golfer.
Right.
Which, you know what, I'm anything but boring. I'm here, there, everywhere. Speaking of development, Cutter Boley, he's not a polished product by any means. We didn't see that in 11-on-11. 7-on-7 though, he throws a pretty pass like it. There's something there. It's not all the way there, but there's something there. That was a lot to like. Hardley Gilmore, as we expected, there was a lot to like there, and there was a lot to like from Jason Patterson too. Some of the young guys that I thought really popped today in the Kentucky Spring game.
I mean, I think in warm-ups, you just watch Cutter and how he can throw the ball and how the ball just pops off of his wrist. Even some of the throws he made, there was a one long bomb he threw 40 yards. It really just looked like a flick of the wrist. But I think with him, it was decision-making coming out of high school. We all know this. And there was some where I think he held the ball on too long, where maybe Brock was hitting his checkdowns, getting it out quick, where Cutter was maybe holding onto it for too long. But it's not unexpected. That was kind of what we thought he was at this stage in his development. And I think you hit on the two freshmen there, Nick. We've heard nonstop about Hardley Gilmore and Jason Patterson. And they come out with the twos, and where does the ball go the first 5 snaps?
Pew, pew, and it's deep balls too. Bo Allen, this was a point made previously, but I feel comfortable if you got a game or two where I don't remember the last time I felt like, okay, if there's an injury for a game or two, like we're not just really rolling the dice out here. Bo is I know it's a weird circumstance, but like he felt like he had some legit chops back there where if you got to put him in, you can put him in and feel comfortable running normal offense.
He looked like a redshirt senior to me.
Yeah, he looked like an old guy who knew what he was doing.
He looked like
where
he'd been around
the first drives, every time he's in, it's phew, phew, big plays down the field to Dingle, Hardley Gilmore, etc.
But back to 26 and 17.
Yeah.
26, Jason Patterson. To me, when he ran the football, he just looked different than their other backs. Just burst, run style, all of that. Like you can project it as well. Like this guy's. He looks like a player to me.
Yeah.
Hardley Gilmore, I think the same thing. I think his burst, his release, his ability to kind of create separation as a route runner. That kid is 17 years old, man, and he's out there making plays against some players. And I was really impressed by him. Another guy I thought had a good day was Jeremiah Anglin Jr., Grady Judd.
Oh, Grady Judd. He has been practicing for 10 days maybe. I mean, he just got back from his knee injury. What does he do? They end the practice on a Grady Judd, Jeremiah Anglin pick six.
Even in the couple possessions before that, I thought he made some competitive plays down the field in coverage. We hear about young corners all the time, like they've got to get more physical at the top of routes. I thought I saw some of that, and even in the pick six, like he won that at the top of the route, physical at the catch point, made the play, and then boom. And that was the guy, Nick, he was a captain on his state championship high school team, was a two-way threat, had a ton of interceptions, I believe if I remember correctly, and like he was a guy projected to be a playmaker. I thought he was maybe going to be more of a safety, but they're using him at corner. I thought he looked like a guy that can maybe be, bare minimum, a good special teams player for you, and then maybe even get into that rotation. So he was one of, I think, of the big winner today, but a lot of this was confirmation for what we've heard, like Patterson, Gilmore. They looked the part. I thought defensively, like they're just really D-line numbers are not good right now.
They're very bad.
It's worrisome, but how significant are these injuries? That's something we really don't know.
Stoops said 6 of the 9 are basically guaranteed to be back by the start of fall camp. Some of them, it might take a little bit longer. Like I forgot Darion Henry Young blew out his knee last year until you're seeing him on crutches backstage. So some of those, like Deion Walker's not playing in this game, right? He don't need to play. I think the same was with Ox, where it's like, all right, we don't really need to play those guys. And even some of them, Max Harrison, he only played 1 series. I don't think Pop Dumas Johnson played at all.
He got in there for a little bit.
Yeah, it's spring game, right? How much do they need to play? D-Jack got rolled up on a little bit. I think he's going to be fine, but it was very funny
at the time, yeah.
Well. And also funny that he might have thudded Brock Vandagriff a little too hard. Like, buddy, it's thud. It's not thud to the ground, your quarterback.
That was one of the funnier moments of the game. I mean, Brian Robinson was playing nose. I don't think he's ever, maybe outside of like a dime situation or obvious passing down, I don't think that's ever going to be a position he's going to play Kentucky. But that's just where they're at from a body standpoint. I thought Gerard Smith flashed a little bit. He's a guy I think a lot of people are high on that defensive line, a true freshman. So overall, defensively, they don't have the guys right now. But offensively, I think you saw the bare bones system, infrastructure, how they're going to operate. And then I thought Vandergriff, again, I'm not saying he's going to come out and be great. I thought he established a floor that I think you can feel confident about him in this offense moving forward. And then Patterson, again, he looks like a guy at tailback.
We're feeling better about the Kentucky football team. It's a beautiful day in the Bluegrass. It's been a wild time in the Bluegrass. We're getting to exhale and realize, okay, this is what we got next. There's a lot of pieces here. There's a lot to work with. It's just the beginning, but it's only the start of what something could be special this fall in the Bluegrass.